Look pretty.
You look soup's pretty, babe. I will turn this TV off.
Turn it off. Whenever poker's on, I have got to watch it.
All right, we're ready. Welcome back to the Felt with the Jay and Sierra Poker Show. Whew, I'm a little tired. We've had an interesting night. Our dog, Lady,
Oh, yeah, the star of the show.
has been sick and throwing up and
Defecating everywhere.
great word. Great word. I was thinking of the word to use. Great word. Yeah. So a little
On the
tired.
walls.
Little tired. But got enough energy to get a hand in today.
Okay.
Got enough energy. We're back in Los Angeles. Our favorite, best looking poker player, Mark Goon, has been coaching someone who came from Hong Kong to play.
Is it going to be all Mark Goon content from now on?
Don't hate on Mark Goon content.
I'm not.
Don't
I'm
hate.
not. And I was supposed
Don't
to
hate on
pick
Mark
out the
Goon
video
content.
today, but I was
someone
busy.
was lazy. So I picked it out. And before, I will be honest, I watched the hand, but before it even concluded, I was like, this is the hand. So I stopped, and because it put us in a conundrum. It was a little conundrum when I was like, I don't have to really think about this.
Okay.
So let's see if we can solve the conundrum together.
I think you're a cheater.
I am a cheater. I do know what happens. But let's see if Sierra can solve the conundrum.
Okay.
Here we go. Are we ready? Here we go. All right. Welcome back to the Los Angeles Hustler Club Casino. I forget what stakes we're playing here. Probably 2-5 or 5-10. One of the two. Let's take a gander here. All right. So we are on the button, which is obviously where we want to be most of the time. We've got one raise right in front of us, and we've got ace, queen, offsuit.
There she is. Oh, a little
pop quiz. What position just raised us right there?
The hijack. Or the cutoff.
Cutoff. All right. Let's go. So then we look down at ace, queen, offsuit.
Love that hand.
How we feeling?
Great.
So do we just call, fold, raise? What do we... All right.
Are we on the button?
Yeah, we're on the button.
Okay, we raise that up.
I like a raise too, obviously.
And yeah, I love it. You have a premium hand on the button.
Can't ask for better.
Yeah, I know.
So how much are we raising here? From $35, what are we raising to?
Well, it says he bet 125.
Well, thanks for playing along. Jeez. What do you raise it to?
Probably something similar.
125 is what he made it to?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yeah, we both all agree, and I think that's pretty standard, right? We're not cracking any codes here by 3-betting on the button with ace queen offsuit. So it comes back around to our villain, and he's gonna call. Let's see what a flop is. Oof. Not the flop we were looking for.
Yep.
All right. So let's see what happens here between our man. All right. So our man checks to us. Okay. Do you want... What's your play here with ace queen offsuit?
That's a trap. He thought about that for a second. Okay. He thought about that for a second.
So you think he's got a little tell there? He's got a little tell. He thought about it, then he checked it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he thought about it. So when I see that, I think they're thinking like, okay, should I set a trap now or just lead out because I was a pre-flop aggressor? What should I do here? Or should I just, disguise this hand that I have? So I think about the timing, and I play with the timing a lot. I think he was thinking like, all right, how am I gonna play this? He has something.
Okay, so you think he hit something?
He hit something.
Okay.
he's on a draw or he hit something.
Okay. So it comes to us with our ace queen. We whiff pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
What do? Do we continuation bet or do we check back?
This is already tricky. I'm gonna check it back.
I check back too, and I check back with aces here. Yeah, I check back with pretty much everything because I'm not comfortable. He could have what you're saying, a draw with some kind of 5-6 hand or two pairs, a set. It's all in his range, and aces don't like any of that, right? So I check back with that. So I'm obviously going to check back with ace queen here.
Because you told me one time, like, if you don't, I mean, why are you betting?
Yeah, and the only reason you would bet ace queen here is to maybe fold out any hands with equity, like 10 jack or maybe pocket twos or something like that. But yeah, not worth it here. It's such a dynamic board, right in his range. So I think I check back too, and I check back all hands here. So our hero decides to check back, and voila!
There it is. We saw the free card. We
got the free card, and we hit our ace here.
Okay.
All right. So our villain checks over to us once again.
Ooh, nasty.
Now what do we do?
Whew. This is another tricky play because he's checking it back to us. And so this is how I think. I'm like, all right, if I bet here, I mean, it's narrowing my range. Like I have an ace. Like it's making it kind of obvious that I have an ace.
It's a great point.
Could check raise me.
It's a great point.
But what
I love the points.
But what I'm gonna do here, I am going to bet.
Okay. And so the pot is 265. How much do you think you should bet here? Big or small, I guess?
I think you would do a small bet here.
Small, around $100 or
yeah,
so?
$75 to $100.
Okay. I could get behind that. And the reason I would get behind that is because let's just say I had pocket threes. I would bet this ace also, right? Because that's better for my range here, right? And that's going to get him to fold out all pocket tens, pocket nines, whatever, if I was bluffing. So I also have to bet it when I'm not bluffing, when I do hit the ace. So I would bet it to small. Now, great counter argument you brought up. Pretty much defines my hand at that point, right? That, hey, I have ace king, ace queen, ace jack. I hit the ace, I'm betting out. He could put a lot of pressure on us because there's a lot of stuff beats us on that board. So, yeah, I kind of like your argument for checking back and getting some to showdown here for as cheap as possible. So, I think I probably bet the same thing you bet, around 75, depending on the player. That's something we haven't talked about yet. I think if the player's pretty tight, straightforward, like not gonna make a play against us, like we could get value out of ace, 2 here, then yeah, we're gonna bet. But if this is a tricky, good player who knows exactly what you just said, I'm pretty capped at having an ace here, and he can bet big and get me to fold. Maybe I hold off and just hope to get one street of value on the river.
I'm doing really good at explaining.
Yeah, I thought you nailed that. I thought you nailed that. But I think I bet too, depending on the player.
Your eyebrow hair is killing me. Sorry, it's very long.
So let's see what smarter people than us decide to do.
Sorry.
All right, he checks back. Okay, so the smarter guy than us probably took your advice there. It was like, hey, if I bet this, then pretty much big red light going off that I have an ace. But again, I said I would, if I had pocket threes, I would have bluffed the ace too. So he decides.
I'm also thinking of like, all right, if he's trying to be sneaky, what am I going to do? check raise, or I probably let it go. I don't know, but
Yeah, if
yeah,
you
that's what
raise
I was.
your-
That's what I was thinking. Like, hey, I'm showing exactly. I'm playing my cards face up at that point.
So we check through King of Spades on the river, and it checks us again. This guy has shown no signs of interest in this pot whatsoever. I'm dying. All right.
I've done this many times with sets. many times.
So he showed no interest in this pot whatsoever. We have our ace here. What do we do now? Do we go for some value here? Like, what are we going to get called by? What are your thoughts here? Do we bet? Do we finally start to come around? Yeah, we bet
because the last on the turn we made a small bet, so we don't know if he were to bet, if he were to raise it or just call.
So we bet hoping to get called by any pair that this guy thinks we're bluffing.
Yeah,
which I think is very logical. This guy could call us with even a 7, an 8, a king. He could call us with anything at this point because we've shown no interest in this hand either. So a bet right here would look pretty bluffy from us, from his point of view. So I think you have to bet here, right? You got the ace here. This guy showed no interest in the hand. I mean, how much do you bet? Given the pot 265, you bet pretty small, or do you bet big?
Great question. I bet small here.
I bet small too. Hoping to get called by a pair, $75 maybe. Hoping to get called by any pair. So let's see what our hero decides to do. He sides with us.
Okay.
Bets 150. Ooh.
Knew it.
Ooh. Immediately raised to 650.
Ring, ding, ding. Why?
Now let's think about this.
He's very sneaky.
Let's think about this. That's a big raise. Big raise. What are your thoughts?
He's very sneaky.
We're in the blender. What are we doing?
Yeah. He has what I thought he has. 2-pair set. Being very sneaky.
Okay, so you think he's got something big just laying in the weeds the whole time, hoping we caught up to bet something.
This is such a weird bluff at the end, right? Like, this is such a weird... Usually when people are bluffing, the story has to make sense. He did not make sense of the story at all.
Well, does that mean we call then if the story doesn't make sense?
No, I think the bluff gets through. People get... Like, bluffs don't work if the story doesn't make sense, is what I'm saying. So, I don't know. I don't think he's bluffing.
You don't think he's bluffing?
Right.
You think he's got the goods. Set of 5s, 7s, or 8s here. That's the only hands he could have, right? That just crushes. Like, or you could have flopped a straight, I guess. 6-9. Just waiting for us to bet.
6-9 though. Why would you play that on there?
And I think you're right. People do not river bluff ever.
Yeah.
Like, people, especially for big sizes at our stakes,
they start on the flop. Like, they start their story, right? They already know what they're gonna do.
So I would give this guy some credit if he had a set of 8s and he was slow playing it this much, because he even checked the river. So if he had a set of 8s, he'd get no value out of us if we had king queen or something. He'd get nothing out of this. So I think most players at some point would be like, I better bet something here to get some money out of this.
He's maniacally laughing in his head. He's like,
so if this guy sat in the weeds for this long and got us to bet, I mean, we do have a hand here.
Yeah.
We've got top pair with a queen kicker, good hand. We just got raised 4x here.
That's great.
Are you insta folding this? Not even thinking about it?
Insta fold.
I think about it for a second, but I think you're right. I think I fold too.
Yeah.
Because just what do you have? Like, what could you have? What bluff does he have that he missed with, right? Like, there's no hand that really makes sense here that he would just be But then again, we showed total weakness the entire hand too. So he could be taking that into account. And be trying to bluff us off an ace.
Because then when it sucks when it fails, because in your head, if you have like a monster, you're like, all right, I'm gonna be very sneaky, and then when you check it back on when you check the river, and then he checks it back, you're like,
$50.
dang it, that sucks.
Yeah, I think it works on me though. I just can't see a bluff here, so I think this works on me.
Okay,
it works on you.
Did we get bluffed?
Let's take a look. So our hero is contemplating the call here. He's running through all the scenarios that we just ran through in our head. Let's see if he can decipher it better than we can. We end up folding. Let's take a look. 9, 10.
Jerk.
We got bluffed. We got bluffed.
But that's okay.
That's okay. You're going to get bluffed. It's poker.
That's okay. And I mean, the loss isn't, I mean,
but think back to the hand. This guy put us basically on the range we exactly had. Like at best, we have an ace.
Yeah.
At best, to be betting that river. So he knew he could get us to fold. Like we don't have strong hands. So if he bets big, we're going to have to fold. So great play on that guy's part. We probably played a little different than this guy did, but I don't think the way he played it was wrong.
He should have bet the turn like we said, but it's ringing alarm bells like I have an ace just to see what he does.
Yeah. Would have been interesting to see what he did.
I want to know.
Does he raise us? He might have raised us.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think that the villain here had a plan in his head. He put us on the range that we had.
Yeah, he was going to raise us the entire time.
I think he had a plan. So we would have been a tough spot there if we bet the ace small and he came back over the top again. We probably end up folding again. So maybe we lost the minimum here. Like it was just a scary board. It would have been super tough to find a call with an ace there. Yeah. Whew. I thought that was a good sticky spot for us. Good sticky spot.
We're terrible at poker, aren't we?
Well, even the best players in the world are going to get bluffed. Right, lady?
Yeah. And I've made some bluffs.
Yeah, obviously.
But the story made sense.
Well, lady, glad you're feeling better. No more throwing up tonight. We're going to get some good sleep.
Okay, you guys, bye.
We're going to get some good sleep. Lady's got to sleep all night long.
And we have a show to watch.
Until next time on the felt in the casino, on the felt in the poker casino thing.
Oh, yeah, we're going to Vegas soon.
I was saving that for later. Golly.